Christine, and welcome to Book Talk. Today we're discussing Opal, the third book in the Lux series by Jennifer L. ARMENTROUT. I'm having fun reading this series, but since it's been a really busy month, it took me a month to read this book. Opal, overall, I think I would have liked it a lot better if I had powered through it like a regular book, like I usually read books. But since I didn't, it was in bits and segments, and there were a lot of exciting things that happened in it. But when you're reading it 10 pages at a time, you're like, oh, that's cool. Instead of like, whoa! So this book ends on a cliffhanger, and I was expecting it because all of you were like, oh my god, wait till the end of Opal. You're going to be so heartbroken. That's a spoiler, guys. No need to tell me till this book talk. Because then I know. I got to it and I was like, Most definitely so far, I think my favorite of these three books has been the first book. It's a really fun kickoff book. I got to read it fairly quickly. The second book I read fairly quickly as well, but I don't think as much stuff happened in it. I think I like the third book better than the second book, but since I read them weirdly, I can't tell. I think I'm going to take a break from this series so I could thoroughly enjoy Origin, because these are fun books, but I'm not in the mood for them. I want to fully enjoy it, because I know I will enjoy it if I wait. I started Origin yesterday just because I felt obligated to. It was Booktubeathon, and I just finished this one, and it's like, oh, cliffhanger, you must start the next one. And it's dual POV. I hate when books are dual POV now. I like it in Legend and such when it starts at dual POV. I don't like when books switch to dual POV halfway through the series. I'm not a fan of that, because you know what it means. Anyway, Opal. I'm going to start spoiling the book now, so if you have not read up to Opal in the series, I recommend leaving at this point. Now, if you haven't read Opal, remember, I'm not giving this a negative review at all. I think this is a really fun read, and you have to be in the mood for a fun read and be able to read it all together to really appreciate it. Bye if you haven't read it. I don't want to spoil you. Peace out, homeschoolers. Bye! Come back, Rift, you read it, and let's discuss. But the first wow moment that I could really remember is finding out that Blake had been sneaking into the bedroom, not only just watching her sleep, but getting into bed with Katie. I read that like last night, and I was, what the Edward? Not even Edward did that. Edward just stood and watched her sleep, okay? That's way more acceptable than first killing her friend's boyfriend, and then coming back to town and threatening their lives, and then sneaking into bed with her. Did the end happen because she shut him down so hard? Was he kind of in love with her and that was a vengeful, spiteful move? Or was the plan to let Damon and Katie get trapped, or Katie get trapped? I really don't get why he did it. They were all gonna get out. They were gonna get out. Did he know what cells they were in because he had already exchanged the information? Like he was gonna give them Katie and Damon because they were giving him Chris's cell number so he can get him out. I don't know. See, I don't think that this was worth getting Beth back, because Beth escapes all the time. So why didn't we just wait for the next time she escaped? Or the next time they moved her? Carissa, as soon as they said she had the flu, I was like, okay, she's being mutated. Who mutated her? I wasn't expecting her to show up in her room like a crazy psycho robot and implode. That was a surprise. I didn't realize that's what he meant by unstable, like actually exploding within themselves. I was waiting for them to find her opal bracelet because that was just the obvious thing to happen there. Why would she even put it on her neck? I feel like it's an easy access to rip off rather than tie it around your leg on an ankle bracelet, or even a bracelet like on your upper arm and put your sleeve over it. You know, you don't want them to know you have it. Dawson and the building up a resistance to the Onyx, right? So they first go in, they get steamed by the Onyx, and they're like, I'm on fire, go down to the lake. Fail attempt to get Beth out. Okay. I don't understand how Dawson had not built up more of a tolerance to Onyx. He must have been exposed to Onyx all the time. His cage must have had Onyx on it. Whatever the hell he was held in Onyx. They said, oh, he was tortured with it from time to time. The amount that Katie was tortured with it for, I don't know, like 3 hours? She was just constantly exposed to it the entire time. Are you telling me they treated Dawson better than her for a year? I didn't get that at all. I feel like Dawson should have already had some sort of a tolerance, and I don't know, I think that was kind of a cop-out. Katie and Damon finally had sex. For some reason, I'm really expecting them to have an alien baby. I think there's been a lot of baby foreshadowing, and I know people have talked about babies. At the same time, though, her mom asked her about protection, and she used it. Is it like, he burns through the protection because he's a Luxon and light burns through condoms? Is that what happened? I don't know, don't tell me, but now they're separated. I really hope Origin isn't an entire book of them being separated. I don't want it. I don't want it happening. I love where their relationship is at right now. I really hated the way Dee treated her at the beginning and told her that the friendship is over and there's no way to fix it, because that's so untrue. I mean, what she did was not on purpose and it wasn't her fault. And I know that Dee was just mad, but she should have said, like, I need time and I'll see what happens when it happens. Not, we can't ever fix this friendship. It's over, Katie. There's nothing you could do about it. Some things you just can't fix. I'm glad it fixed itself, sort of, by the end. I knew it was going to happen eventually. I really didn't like the way that Dee handled it. Also, like I said, the opal. Like, why didn't you tie it around somewhere that isn't visible? It just had to be touching your skin. Like, put it in your mouth or something. I just do anything except put it around your neck like a piece of jewelry to show off to the world. It's a secret rock! A secret rock that makes you all powerful! Dumbasses! I don't know ultimately where this book series is going. I'm thinking maybe it's destroying the DoD. But then another thing would just, I don't know, is it like assimilation of the Luxon into society? Is it going to be like True Blood? Like, there are aliens among us, and they don't eat us, so it's okay. Will there be war? America against Luxon rebels? Oh, I really do like that they went to prom. I love what Damon set up after prom by the lake, but at the same time, I'm thinking, all the DoD can see you right now. Like, they can all see you with their little sneaky creep cameras in the woods. Oh, Will! I forgot about that Will thing, which I didn't find shocking at all for some reason. I mean, it would have been like a moment if I had been reading this straight through. Oh, a gun. Oh, Katie, why don't you just levitate the gun away? I actually think she could have stopped the bullet if she was concentrating on stopping a bullet. But she was like, oh, let me get the source and slam it into him. Like, I thought actually that she was going to turn the hand with the gun towards him and pull the trigger. I thought that's what was happening, but apparently not. So she had a multitude of options, and she chose to slam the source into him instead of just moving him entirely. Like, just move his hand with your superpowers. I don't get mad, Katie. She never told Damon about that time when she almost made that bitchy cheerleader girl fall off the balcony with her backpack. I do like the way they sit and watch ghost marathons together. I was afraid in the beginning of the book that there was going to be like an Elena, Damon, Stefan type of thing going on. I'm really glad there isn't. And then I was afraid with Dee that there was going to be like an Andrew Dee thing going on, which I'm a little weary of. I feel like there might be. And we got this weird mafia kid, Luke. What do you call him? I call him Luck. I'm interested in what his story is. And was he in league with Blake the whole time? Or like, did he know that Blake was going to betray them? Why didn't he tell them? Building up a tolerance by just holding onyx for long periods of time and then dropping it. When Blake was describing how he built up his tolerance, there was onyx on everything, every day, all the time, right? It was on the forks, it was on the ceiling, it was everywhere. I feel like to build up an adequate tolerance, there should have been more of the onyx around them. Like, just keep one in your backpack all the time. I don't know. Just keep one on something that you touch all the time. Like, put onyx on your pen. In the first chapter of Origin, they're like, don't think any tolerance you've built up is gonna help you now. If you can build up a tolerance, you should be building it up even when they're torturing you. So every time they torture you, it's less tortureful because you're building up a tolerance. There's only so much they can do to you. If they're spraying you with gas all the time that's influxed with onyx, you should build up a tolerance to that completely eventually, or to the point where it just mildly discomforts you. We'll see what happens in Origin, but I really think that Dawson should have built up an entire tolerance. I thought this was a fun book to read, but like when you think about the science, it starts to irritate me. I was just immediately when they said I built up tolerance, I was like, why isn't Dawson completely tolerant then? He's been in there for over a year. Or at least a year. Why hasn't Beth built up a tolerance? Or maybe she has, and that's how she's escaped so many times. Why didn't they listen to Beth when she was telling them shit when they were trying to get out of the building? She was obviously trying to warn them or something. Like, what got me through this book was really Damon and Katie being cute and their relationship growing more. We didn't really see Katie's mom at all in this book. Katie still didn't tell her about Will. There was just a lot that was never communicated. I don't know. That's just how I felt. I did enjoy the book, though. I think my favorite part was prom. My favorite character, other than Katie and Damon, see, I don't really have one. And that's kind of annoying. You want to like the side characters and feel more connected to them, and I'm not really connected to the side characters at all. I'm going to read Origin. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I just need a break. I need a break. It took me too long to get through this book. Share your thoughts, your favorite parts. Feel free to disagree with what I'm saying. It's my opinion, and it definitely has to do with the way I read the book. I'm Christine. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.